Hey, loving listeners, welcome back to Mind-Blowing Motive, the place where we talk about the real secrets of living a happy, powerful, and meaningful life. Today's topic might sound simple, but trust me, it's one of the most powerful lessons you'll ever learn. Simplicity is power. In a world that's constantly rushing, competing, and complicating everything, simplicity feels rare, almost forgotten. But the truth is, simplicity doesn't mean lack of ambition or creativity. It actually means clarity. It's about cutting off the noise, choosing what truly matters, and focusing your energy where it counts the most. Think about it. Our greatest minds, from Einstein to Steve Jobs, all valued simplicity. Why? Because when life becomes simple, decisions become clear, stress becomes lighter, and your purpose shines brighter. Simplicity isn't just about owning fewer things. It's about freeing your mind. It's knowing when to say no, how to keep your peace, and how to focus on what truly makes you grow. Simplicity is not laziness. It's a form of inner strength. It's the ability to stay calm when others overthink, and to act wisely when others waste time trying to impress. So in this video, we're going to explore 12 powerful points that will show you how simplicity can completely transform your life, your habits, your mindset, and your future. Strengthened, because by the end of this journey, you'll understand that the simpler you live, the stronger you become. Point 1. Clear mind, clear power. The first step to unlocking the power of simplicity is clearing your mind. Imagine your brain as a desk. If it's covered with piles of papers, old coffee cups, and random things, it's hard to focus, right? You waste time looking for one thing, and your energy gets scattered. That's exactly how your mind feels when it's filled with too many worries, plans, and thoughts that don't really matter. A cluttered mind drains your focus, while a clear mind creates power. Simplicity begins in your thoughts. It's not about stopping your mind from thinking. It's about guiding it to think better. When you wake up each morning, hundreds of thoughts rush in. What to do, where to go, what to wear, what to achieve. Most of these thoughts are repetitive or unnecessary. They don't help you move forward. So, the first practice of simplicity is to pause and breathe. Take a moment to filter what really deserves your attention. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me grow, or is it just noise? People often believe that having a busy mind means being productive, but busyness and productivity are not the same. A busy person might be doing many things but going nowhere. A simple-minded person does fewer things but with more focus and gets real results. Simplicity allows your thoughts to line up like clear arrows, all pointing toward one meaningful direction. That's where your true power comes from: clarity. Try practicing mental simplicity through mindfulness. Every morning, take 5 quiet minutes just to breathe deeply and observe your thoughts. Don't fight them, just notice them. Let them pass like clouds. Slowly, your mind starts to understand what really matters and what can be released. You'll be amazed at how light you feel when unnecessary thoughts fade away. That's when creativity and confidence begin to grow naturally. Think of a clean mirror. It reflects light perfectly. But if the mirror is covered in dust, the light gets lost. Your mind is that mirror. When it's clean and simple, your ideas, purpose, and energy shine through clearly. That's why simple thinkers often become great leaders. They're not distracted by every detail. They focus on the heart of the problem and find smart, effective solutions. Let's take an example. Steve Jobs once said, "Simple can be harder than complex. You have to work hard to get your thinking clean to make it simple." He wasn't talking about doing less work. He was talking about removing confusion. That's the real power of simplicity, seeing clearly what others overlook. You can start practicing this right now. Every time your mind starts spinning with too many plans, stop and ask, what's the most important thing right now? Just one thing. When you focus on that single priority, your productivity doubles and your stress drops. You'll realize that most of the things you worry about are not essential. They're just distractions wearing the mask of importance. Under Mindfulness, you make faster decisions, speak with confidence, and stay calm in chaos. It teaches you to trust your inner wisdom instead of overthinking. And when you live this way, people notice. They feel peace around you. They see focus in your eyes. That's the quiet, unshakable power of simplicity. So remember, simplicity isn't about removing everything. It's about removing what blocks your peace. It's about decluttering your inner space so your energy can flow freely. Because when your mind is clear, your path becomes powerful. And that's where your real strength begins. Point 2. Focus on what truly matters. In a world full of distractions, simplicity teaches you the art of focusing on what truly matters. Most people spend their lives chasing too many things: money, attention, status, approval, comfort, and endless goals that never seem to satisfy. But the truth is, not everything deserves your time and energy. When you try to do everything, you end up achieving nothing deeply meaningful. Simplicity gives you the power to focus your energy like a laser beam, sharp, steady, and unstoppable. Think about it. You can't pour water into 10 cups at once and expect them all to be full. The same goes for your energy. When you spread yourself too thin, you lose your power. But when you pour your full attention into one purpose, one dream, or one task, it grows beautifully. That's why simple living isn't about having less. It's about focusing better. Let's take an example from nature. The sun's rays are scattered across the earth every day, but when you use a magnifying glass to focus those rays, they can create fire. That's the difference between scattered energy and focused energy. When your life becomes simple, your direction becomes clear. You stop wasting energy on meaningless things, and you start building something real. Many people get lost in the noise of modern life: social media, gossip, endless notifications, and comparison. They want to do everything because they fear missing out. But the real success comes from the opposite: learning what to ignore. You gain more peace when you stop trying to impress everyone and start focusing on what's meaningful to you. So, ask yourself right now, what truly matters in my life? What do I want to give my time, love, and energy to? Is it your personal growth, your family, your purpose, or your inner peace? Once you identify it, guard it. Protect it like a precious gem. Everything else is just background noise. You see, powerful people are not those who do everything. They're the ones who focus on what matters most. Look at any successful person, and you'll find one common thing: clarity. They know what to say no to. They don't chase every opportunity. They choose the ones that align with their purpose. That's simplicity in action. There's a beautiful quote that says, "The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing." It sounds funny, but it's deeply true. Every time you get distracted, bring your attention back to the main thing. If you want to become good at something, consistency beats complexity. You don't need 100 plans. You just need one clear direction followed with discipline. Practically speaking, start by simplifying your goals. Instead of trying to achieve 10 things in 1 month, pick 1 or 2 that truly matter and give your heart to them. Each morning, write down your top 3 priorities. When you focus on those, your productivity increases and your stress fades. Because simplicity removes confusion and builds direction. Also, learn to simplify your relationships. You don't need a crowd. You need a few genuine people who support your growth. Focus on deep, meaningful connections rather than endless social circles. Life becomes peaceful when you surround yourself with people who bring calm, not chaos. Simplicity also applies to emotions. Don't overcomplicate your happiness. You don't need expensive things or perfect situations to feel good. Sometimes, peace comes from small joys: watching a sunset, sharing a laugh, listening to music, or just breathing freely. That's the beauty of simple living. It turns ordinary moments into magic. So, remember this truth: you can't do everything, but you can do something great if you focus on what matters most. Simplicity helps you see what's essential and what's just noise. Once you master that, you become unstoppable. Because when your heart and energy are focused, your life becomes powerful, peaceful, and full of meaning. Point 3. Let go of the unnecessary. Coercive. The most powerful acts of simplicity is learning to let go. Most of us carry too much, too many things, too many expectations, too many thoughts, and too many fears. We hold on to the past, worry about the future, and fill our lives with things that don't bring peace. But here's the truth. You can't move forward if you're holding on to what no longer serves you. Letting go is not a loss, it's freedom. It's the beginning of a lighter, more meaningful life. Think about how you feel when your room is full of clutter. You can't find what you need, your space feels heavy, and your energy drops. But the moment you clean it up, throw away what's useless and keep only what matters, you instantly feel refreshed. The same rule applies to your inner world. Your mind and heart need decluttering too. You don't need to carry every memory, every argument, every regret, or every judgment. Simplicity is about releasing what no longer fits the person you're becoming. Letting go starts with awareness. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to that's keeping me stuck? It could be a toxic friendship, a bad habit, an old belief, or a painful memory. Whatever it is, face it with courage, because once you see it clearly, you can choose to release it. You don't have to carry emotional baggage just because you've had it for a long time. Growth often begins the moment you decide to let go. People often fear that letting go means giving up, but it's not. Letting go means making space for something better. You're not losing. You're creating room for peace, new opportunities, and better energy. Imagine if your phone storage is full. You can't download anything new until you delete some old files. Life works the same way. Until you release the unnecessary, you can't receive the new blessings waiting for you. Here's something to think about. Simplicity isn't just about having fewer possessions. It's also about having fewer emotional weights. When you stop overthinking, stop comparing, stop forcing what's not meant for you, you begin to feel light. You start to notice the beauty around you. You begin to live in the moment. And that's where real happiness lives, in the now. Letting go also means forgiving yourself and others. Holding grudges is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. You hurt yourself more when you keep carrying resentment. Forgiveness doesn't mean the other person was right. It means you choose peace over pain. When you forgive, you free your heart. That's one of the purest forms of simplicity, emotional freedom. Even in your daily routine, letting go can bring incredible peace. Say no to commitments that drain you. Say no to people who take your energy but don't give value back. Say no to things that clutter your time. You don't have to explain your simplicity to anyone. You just have to live it. The more you let go, the more space you create for clarity, love, and joy. Letting go also helps you trust life more deeply. When you release control and stop trying to manage every outcome, you begin to see how things naturally fall into place. The universe has its own timing, and simplicity teaches you to flow with it instead of fighting it. Peace doesn't come from controlling everything. It comes from releasing what you can't control. So, let this truth sink in. The lighter your life becomes, the stronger you feel inside. Simplicity gives you that strength. When you stop holding on to what's heavy, you rise higher. You smile easier. You sleep better. You feel alive again. Simplicity is not about what you lose. It's about what you gain. And when you learn to let go of the unnecessary, you gain back your freedom, your focus, and your peace. That's the quiet power that changes everything. 4. The beauty of living slowly. In today's world, everyone seems to be in a race, running fast, chasing goals, checking boxes, and comparing timelines. But here's the truth. Life isn't meant to be a race. It's meant to be a beautiful journey. Simplicity reminds us that there's real power in slowing down. When you live slowly, you start to live deeply. You begin to notice the colors, sounds, and feelings that rush right past people who are always in a hurry. Living slowly doesn't mean being lazy. It means being present. It's the art of enjoying life instead of rushing through it. Think about this. How many times do we eat without tasting our food, walk without noticing the sky, or talk to someone while checking our phone? We rush because the world tells us that faster is better, but faster often means emptier. When you slow down, you reconnect with yourself. You give your heart space to breathe, your mind time to think, and your soul room to grow. That's what simplicity is all about, creating space for peace. Living slowly also helps you make better decisions. When you rush, you make mistakes, say things you don't mean, and miss important details. But when you pause, even for a moment, you allow wisdom to speak. It's in silence and stillness that great ideas are born. Some of the most successful people in the world practice slow thinking. They don't react instantly. They respond thoughtfully. That's what gives their actions more power. Let's be honest, modern life glorifies busyness. People brag about how busy they are, as if being constantly occupied means being important. But simplicity teaches the opposite. Being busy doesn't mean being productive. Sometimes it means being distracted from what truly matters. Real strength is the ability to slow down, rest, and say, I'm not in a rush. I'm growing at my own pace. You can start this practice by doing small things, slowly and with full attention. When you eat, truly taste your food. When you walk, feel each step. When you talk to someone, listen with your heart, not just your ears. These simple acts of mindfulness transform ordinary moments into meaningful experiences. That's the quiet magic of a simple life. It turns the everyday into something sacred. There's also a deeper side to slowing down. It helps you appreciate progress, no matter how small. When you're always rushing toward the next big thing, you miss the beauty of where you are right now. Life's greatest joys often hide in the present moment. A smile, a sunset, a laugh, a hug. But you can't feel them if you're always running. Simplicity invites you to slow down and truly live the moments that make life worth it. Living slowly also protects your mental health. When you constantly chase deadlines, scroll endlessly, and overload your schedule, your mind burns out. You lose touch with your peace. But when you slow down, your nervous system relaxes, your creativity blossoms, and your happiness grows naturally. Rest isn't a waste of time. It's how your mind and body recharge for what truly matters. And here's something important. When you live slowly, you stop comparing yourself to others. You realize that everyone's path is different, and there's no need to rush yours. The tree doesn't worry about how fast the flower blooms. It grows in its own rhythm. You're the same. Your timing is your power. So, next time you feel pressure to rush, remind yourself, peace lives in the present, not in the future you're chasing. Slow down and breathe. Feel the moment. Life becomes richer, deeper, and far more meaningful when you stop running and start living. Simplicity is not just about having less. It's about being more present, more peaceful, more alive. Because the beauty of life doesn't come from speed, it comes from connection. And that connection only happens when you learn the gentle, powerful art of living slowly. Point 5. Speak less, feel more. One of the quietest and most powerful lessons simplicity teaches us is the art of speaking less and feeling more. We live in a world full of noise, constant talking, arguing, explaining, and proving. Everyone wants to be heard, but very few truly listen. Simplicity reminds us that real wisdom doesn't always come from speaking loudly. It comes from understanding deeply. When you speak less, your words gain more weight. When you feel more, your heart opens to the beauty and truth around you. Think about the people you admire the most. They often don't talk too much, do they? They choose their words carefully, speak with purpose, and stay silent when it's wise to do so. That's not weakness, it's strength. Silence gives space for reflection. It allows you to think before reacting and helps you connect with the deeper emotions beneath your words. When you learn to be comfortable in silence, you become emotionally powerful. Beautiful quote that says, "Silence isn't empty, it's full of answers." Sometimes the best response is no response. When you stop explaining yourself to everyone, you start conserving your energy. When you stop reacting to every opinion, You start protecting your peace. That's the heart of simplicity. It saves you from unnecessary drama, stress, and misunderstanding. Speaking less doesn't mean shutting yourself down. It means expressing yourself with intention. Instead of talking just to fill the silence, talk when your words can add value, inspire peace, or express love. The rest of the time, listen, observe, feel. You'll be surprised how much more you learn when you stop trying to be the loudest in the room. Simplicity thrives in quiet understanding. In today's world, people often mistake talking more for being confident. But true confidence doesn't need constant noise. It's calm, composed, and grounded. A confident person listens more than they speak because they already know who they are. They don't need to prove their worth with endless words. They let their actions, presence, and energy speak for them. That's simplicity in its purest form. Let's think about relationships for a moment. Many conflicts grow not because of what was said, but because of what wasn't listened to. When we speak too quickly, we miss the emotions hiding behind someone's words. But when we pause, feel, and listen, we begin to understand. Listening is a form of love. It tells the other person, "You matter. I see you. I hear you." That's what brings real connection, not endless talking. Simplicity in community also helps you maintain emotional balance. You don't have to argue with everyone who disagrees with you. You don't need to defend every decision or explain every feeling. The more you practice silence, the more you realize that peace is better than being right. You start choosing your inner calm over winning arguments. That's when you truly grow. Even in your personal growth, silence can be a teacher. Spend some time each day in quiet reflection. No phone, no noise, no distractions. Just you and your thoughts. Feel your emotions. Observe them without judgment. The more you listen to yourself, the more clarity you gain about what you really want from life. Silence helps you reconnect with your intuition, the quiet voice that always knows what's best for you. Speaking less also helps your creativity bloom. Great ideas don't come when your mind is noisy. They come in stillness. When you stop filling every moment with words or sounds, your imagination starts whispering new thoughts. That's why many artists, writers, and thinkers often seek solitude. They understand that silence is not loneliness, it's creative power. So, start today. Practice the art of saying less and feeling more. You'll notice your relationships improving, your thoughts becoming clearer, and your peace growing stronger. Remember, the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more understanding, and simplicity helps you give that gift. Because when your heart listens more than your mouth speaks, your presence becomes more powerful than your words. That's the real strength of simplicity. Point 6. Own less, live more. Of the most visible ways simplicity shows its power is through the things we own. Most people believe that having more possessions equals more happiness, but that's a myth. Clutter, excess, and constant accumulation often weigh us down rather than lifting us up. True power comes not from owning everything, but from owning what truly matters and living freely beyond the rest. When you simplify your belongings, you simplify your life, your mind, and your energy. Think about it. How many items in your home are just taking up space? Clothes you never wear, gadgets you never use, books you'll never read. Each item may seem small, but together they create mental and physical clutter. They pull your attention in unnecessary directions and distract you from what truly adds value to your life. Simplicity teaches you to let go of the excess and make room for freedom. Minimized less doesn't mean living without. It means choosing wisely. Keep things that serve you, bring joy, or make life easier. The rest? Let it go. When you do this, you experience a sense of liberation that no amount of new stuff can give. Your home becomes a place of peace, your mind becomes lighter, and your focus sharpens. You realize that happiness is not in acquiring, but in appreciating. Minimalism is a form of simplicity. It's not about living in an empty room or giving up comfort. It's about valuing quality over quantity. Imagine having a few high-quality items that truly serve your life versus a room full of things that only collect dust. The difference is subtle but powerful. One brings peace, the other brings stress. Your energy should be spent on creating memories, growing yourself, and nurturing relationships, not worrying about things you don't need. Simplicity also shifts your perspective on money. When you own less, you spend less on unnecessary things. You stop comparing yourself to others and stop feeling pressured to keep up with every trend. Money becomes a tool, not a chain. You gain the freedom to invest in experiences, personal growth, and relationships, things that actually enrich your life. True wealth is not in accumulation. It's in freedom and contentment. Owning less also affects your mental space. Each item you let go of creates room for clarity. Your decisions become easier because there's less clutter to distract you. You stop feeling overwhelmed by choices and start feeling in control. Life becomes smoother, calmer, and more enjoyable. You learn to enjoy what you have instead of chasing what you don't. Even emotionally, simplicity can help. Holding on to grudges, expectations, and emotional baggage is like owning things you don't need. Each memory, resentment, or fear weighs you down. When you release them, you live more freely, with more joy and energy. Letting go of unnecessary emotional possessions is as important as letting go of physical ones. Consider this. When you simplify your possessions, your schedule, and your mind, you create space for life itself. You begin to notice the little joys, a morning walk, a shared laugh, a quiet sunset. You start to value moments over things. You feel lighter, freer, and more in control of your own happiness. That's the true power of simplicity. So start small. Declutter one corner of your room, donate unused items, and keep only what serves you. Notice how it feels when your environment becomes less chaotic. You'll see that life itself feels less complicated, and your mind feels calmer. Every item you release is a step closer to living fully, freely, and simply. Remember, owning less doesn't make you poor. It makes you rich in the only ways that truly matter: peace, freedom, and presence. The simpler your life, the more power you hold. Point 7. Prioritize your energy, not your time. One of the most powerful lessons simplicity teaches is that life isn't about having more time. It's about using your energy wisely. Many people make the mistake of thinking that being busy equals being productive, but that's not true. You can spend hours working, scrolling, or running errands and feel completely drained, yet achieve very little of value. Simplicity shifts your focus from managing time to managing energy. When you prioritize your energy, every action becomes more effective, meaningful, and powerful. Think about it. You only have so much energy each day. If you spend it on tasks that don't matter, on people who drain you, or on worries that have no solution, you leave nothing for what truly counts. Energy is your most valuable resource. It fuels your creativity, your relationships, and your inner peace. Simplicity teaches you to protect it fiercely. Start by noticing where your energy goes. Are you constantly reacting to messages and notifications? Are you trying to please everyone around you? Are you overthinking problems that have no immediate solution? All these things consume your energy without adding value to your life. Once you recognize these energy drainers, you can start cutting them out. This is the power of simplicity in action, removing the unnecessary to amplify the important. Prioritizing energy also means choosing tasks, people, and goals that align with your purpose. Instead of doing many small things poorly, do a few things with full attention and energy. The results will surprise you. When you put your energy into meaningful work, you're not just productive, you're creating impact. That's why powerful people don't chase busyness. They chase significance. Simplicity also teaches the value of saying no. Saying no isn't selfish, it's wise. Every time you say yes to something that drains your energy, you're saying no to something that could bring growth, happiness, or peace. Protecting your energy is one of the purest forms of self-respect. People who understand this live less stressed and more fulfilled lives. They focus on the people, tasks, and moments that actually deserve their energy. Energy management also applies to your emotions. Stress, anger, jealousy, and resentment consume immense energy. Simplicity invites you to release what you cannot change and focus on what you can. Instead of wasting energy worrying about things beyond your control, channel it into your personal growth, creativity, and joy. A calm mind is a powerful mind, and simplicity helps you achieve that calm. In your daily routines, energy matters more than time. For example, two people may spend the same 8 hours working. One is distracted, tired, and stressed. The other is focused, energized, and intentional. Who will achieve more? The second person, of course. Simplicity shows us that how you spend your energy is far more important than how long you spend it. Let's also consider relationships. Some people drain your energy with negativity, gossip, or constant demands. Simplicity teaches you to step back, set boundaries, and focus on relationships that uplift and inspire. Your energy is precious, and who you share it with matters deeply. Nurture connections that leave you feeling energized, not exhausted. By prioritizing energy over time, you live intentionally. You stop running on autopilot, wasting your days and feeling drained by trivial matters. Instead, you focus on what nourishes your body, mind, and soul. You live deeply, act wisely, and feel alive. Remember, time will always pass, but energy is limited. Simplicity empowers you to protect your energy, direct it purposefully, and use it to create a life full of peace, growth, and happiness. Your energy is your true currency, and the simpler your life, the richer you become. Point 8. Reduce digital noise. In today's world, one of the biggest obstacles to simplicity is the constant digital noise around us. Our phones, computers, social media, notifications, emails. These are tools meant to help us, but they often end up controlling us. Every ping, every scroll, every alert pulls our attention in dozens of directions at once. We feel busy, but much of that busyness is empty. Simplicity teaches us to reduce digital noise, reclaim our focus, and reconnect with what truly matters. Think about your typical day. How many times do you check your phone without thinking? How often do you scroll mindlessly through social media, comparing yourself to others or consuming information that doesn't serve you? Each moment you spend distracted is a moment your mind isn't fully alive. Digital clutter not only steals your attention, but also drains your energy. The more you simplify your digital life, the more mental space and peace you create. Reducing digital noise doesn't mean giving up technology. It means using it intentionally. Set clear boundaries. Limit social media time. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Create specific times for emails and messages instead of reacting every time a new alert appears. You'll be amazed at how much calm and focus this brings. Simplicity in the digital world is about control, not deprivation. You remain connected, but on your own terms. Another way to simplify digitally is by decluttering your devices. Uninstall apps you don't use. Clean up old files, photos, and downloads. Organize your digital workspace so that it's easy to find what you need. When your digital environment is simple, your mind follows. A cluttered phone or computer creates a cluttered mind. A clean digital space allows for clarity and efficiency. Simplicity also means being mindful of the content you consume. Choose information that adds value, educates, or inspires. Stop feeding your mind with negativity, gossip, or endless comparisons. Every time you choose meaningful content over mindless scrolling, you strengthen your mental clarity and emotional stability. Your brain becomes calmer, sharper, and more focused. Digital simplicity affects relationships too. Instead of being constantly distracted by notifications, give your full attention to the people around you. Listen actively. Speak with intention. Being fully present in conversations creates deeper connections and stronger bonds. Your devices should serve your relationships, not replace them. Even small habits can make a big difference. For example, try a digital sunset. Turn off screens 1 hour before bed. Use your mornings for reflection or planning rather than immediately checking messages. These simple adjustments reduce stress, improve focus, and help you feel more in control of your life. Remember, technology is a tool, not a master. When you control it instead of letting it control you, you reclaim your energy, attention, and peace. Life becomes quieter, decisions become clearer, and creativity flows more freely. That's the power of simplicity applied to the modern digital world. Reducing digital noise is about creating space for what truly matters: your goals, your relationships, and your personal growth. By limiting distractions and being intentional with your attention, you turn your devices into allies rather than energy thieves. Simplicity is not about living without, it's about living better. Point 9. Embrace fewer commitments. One of the quietest yet most transformative aspects of simplicity is learning to embrace fewer commitments. Many people believe that saying yes to everything makes them successful, popular, or important. But the truth is, overcommitting drains your energy, scatters your focus, and leaves little room for what truly matters. Simplicity teaches that by saying no to the unnecessary, you say yes to your peace, growth, and true priorities. Think about your weekly schedule. How many tasks, meetings, social events, or obligations do you take on? Not because they are essential, but because you feel pressured to. Each yes to something unimportant is a no to something meaningful. It could be quality time with loved ones, personal growth, creative pursuits, or simply resting and recharging. The more you reduce commitments, the more energy and focus you gain for what truly matters. Saying no is not selfish, it's wise. Boundaries are a form of self-respect. They signal to yourself and others that your time and energy are valuable. People who embrace fewer commitments are not lazy. They are intentional. They invest themselves where it counts, giving full attention to fewer things rather than half-heartedly splitting energy across many. That's simplicity in action, doing less but achieving more. Another reason fewer commitments empower you is that they reduce stress. When your schedule is overloaded, you're constantly rushing, worrying, and juggling multiple priorities. Over time, this stress affects your mind, body, and spirit. Simplicity gives you the courage to step back, assess your obligations, and focus only on the tasks that align with your purpose and values. By pruning the unnecessary, you create space for clarity and calm. Tightening. It's also about quality over quantity in relationships. You don't need to attend every social event or keep in touch with everyone you meet. Invest your energy in meaningful connections, those who uplift, support, and inspire you. A smaller circle of genuine relationships is far more fulfilling than a large network of shallow connections. This principle applies to work, friendships, and even personal projects. Phrygia. Fewer commitments also encourage mastery. When you take on less, you can focus more deeply, learn faster, and improve your skills. You stop spreading yourself thin and start building depth instead of breadth. Think of it as tending a garden. If you try to water every plant at once, each receives too little attention. But if you focus on a few, they flourish beautifully. Life works the same way. Practically, start by reviewing your schedule and responsibilities. Identify what is essential and what is not. Ask yourself, does this task or obligation bring value, growth, or joy? Does it align with my priorities? If the answer is no, remove it gracefully. You'll notice a sudden sense of freedom, a weight lifted from your shoulders. That's the quiet power of simplicity. Finally, fewer commitments allow you to be present in the moment. When you're not constantly juggling multiple obligations, you can truly experience the people, experiences, and opportunities in front of you. You can enjoy life instead of rushing through it. Simplicity gives you the space to breathe, reflect, and act with purpose. Remember, powerful people are not those who do everything. They are those who focus on what matters most. Embracing fewer commitments is not about doing less in life. It's about doing more of what really counts. That is where your energy, focus, and peace converge, giving you the strength to live fully, intentionally, and simply. Point 10. Find joy in simple moments. One of the most overlooked powers of simplicity is learning to find joy in the smallest moments of life. Many people chase big achievements, expensive experiences, or grand celebrations. thinking happiness is somewhere in the future. But simplicity teaches that real joy is already around us, hidden in ordinary moments that we often overlook. The power of life lies not in constant striving, but in noticing and appreciating the little things. Think about a quiet morning, the soft sunlight streaming through your window, the smell of fresh coffee, the gentle sounds of birds outside. Most people rush past these moments without noticing, but when you slow down and pay attention, even these small experiences can bring a deep sense of happiness and gratitude. Simplicity teaches you to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start living fully in the present. Joy in simple moments also comes from relationships. A genuine smile from a friend, a warm hug from a loved one, or a heartfelt conversation can be more fulfilling than any material reward. These small, authentic interactions carry immense power. When you focus on quality over quantity in relationships, you discover a richness in life that no amount of possessions or achievements can replace. Imientos encourages mindfulness, the ability to be present and fully engaged in whatever you are doing. Whether it's cooking a meal, walking in nature, or reading a book, embracing the moment allows you to experience life more deeply. You notice details, feel emotions more intensely, and cultivate gratitude. Over time, these simple joys accumulate, creating a life that feels abundant, even without extravagance. Another way to embrace simple joy is by reducing comparison. Many people feel unhappy because they measure themselves against others' achievements, possessions, or lifestyles. But simplicity teaches that true happiness is internal. When you stop comparing, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and envy. You can celebrate your own journey, no matter how small the steps. Your joy becomes independent of external validation. Simplicity also encourages small daily rituals that nourish the soul. It could be journaling for 5 minutes, taking a short walk in the morning, listening to calming music, or sipping tea without distractions. These tiny practices may seem insignificant, but over time, they cultivate contentment, peace, and resilience. Happiness doesn't always come from big victories. It grows quietly through consistent, small acts of care for yourself and your environment. Obierno even challenges can be approached with simplicity. Instead of overcomplicating problems, focus on small, actionable steps. Break issues down into manageable parts, tackle one thing at a time, and celebrate small wins. This approach not only reduces stress but also allows you to enjoy the journey rather than just the outcome. Joy is found in the process, not only in the result. By finding joy in simple moments, you reclaim control over your happiness. You no longer wait for life to give you reasons to be happy. You create them yourself. You begin to notice beauty in the ordinary, gratitude in the everyday, and peace in the present. Life feels lighter, your mind feels calmer, and your heart feels fuller. Remember, powerful people don't need constant excitement or luxury to feel alive. They find beauty in small things, presence in ordinary moments, and joy in simplicity. When you practice this, life becomes less stressful, more meaningful, and deeply satisfying. Happiness is not a destination. It's a way of living simply, fully, and intentionally. Simplify your decisions. One of the most powerful ways simplicity impacts your life is by reducing the number of decisions you need to make. Every day, we make hundreds, sometimes thousands, of choices. From what to wear, to what to eat, to how to respond to people. While some decisions are necessary, many are trivial or repetitive, consuming mental energy and leaving us exhausted. Simplicity teaches us to streamline our choices, freeing up energy for what truly matters. Think about your morning routine. If you spend 20 minutes deciding what to wear or what to eat, that's wasted mental energy before the day even begins. Highly successful people often simplify these choices. They wear similar styles every day or prepare meals in advance. By reducing unnecessary decisions, they save their mental energy for more important tasks. The less you overthink, the more mental clarity you gain. Decision fatigue is real. When your brain is overloaded with choices, your ability to make wise decisions declines. You become irritable, distracted, or prone to procrastination. Simplicity combats this by creating systems, routines, and habits that reduce the number of trivial choices you face. When your life is structured, your mind can focus on meaningful decisions, like important projects, personal growth, and relationships. Trying simplify decisions also applies to priorities. Many people spend hours weighing options that don't really matter in the long run. Simplicity teaches you to focus on your values. Ask yourself, does this decision align with my goals, values, or happiness? If the answer is yes, move forward. If no, let it go. This approach reduces stress, builds confidence, and allows you to act decisively without overthinking. Even in everyday life, simplification can bring calm. Limit choices in your diet, wardrobe, or routine. Automate small tasks whenever possible. For instance, set reminders for bill payments or schedule recurring chores. By doing so, you reduce unnecessary mental clutter and create space for creativity, focus, and peace. Simplicity isn't about doing less. It's about freeing your mind to focus on what truly matters. Relationships benefit from simpler decision-making too. Stop overanalyzing every word, text, or gesture. Trust your instincts, communicate clearly, and focus on actions that strengthen bonds, rather than obsessing over small details. By reducing mental gymnastics in relationships, you create harmony and emotional stability. Simplifying decisions also reduces stress. Life becomes less overwhelming when you're not constantly debating minor choices. You feel more in control and less reactive. This clarity allows you to respond to challenges with calm and intelligence, rather than panic and confusion. When decisions are simplified, confidence grows naturally. By setting clear boundaries, decide what you will accept and what you won't in your personal and professional life. Once these boundaries are set, many small decisions become automatic. You don't waste energy constantly negotiating your limits. This creates a life of consistency, stability, and peace. Mindfulness. Simplicity isn't about avoiding decisions. It's about choosing wisely, reducing mental clutter, and focusing your energy where it counts. When you simplify your decisions, your life becomes calmer, your mind sharper, and your actions more effective. That clarity is the quiet power of simplicity, turning ordinary choices into extraordinary impact. Point 12. Let simplicity shape your life. The final and perhaps most important lesson of simplicity is letting it shape your entire life. Simplicity is not just a set of habits, it's a mindset, a lifestyle, and a philosophy. It teaches you to focus on what matters, let go of what doesn't, and live intentionally. When simplicity becomes a guiding principle, your life becomes clearer, calmer, and far more powerful. To let simplicity shape your life, start with your values. Know what truly matters to you, your goals, relationships, health, and inner peace. When you have clarity about your priorities, every decision, habit, and action can align with them. This alignment reduces confusion and stress because you are no longer pulled in conflicting directions. Your choices become natural and effortless, guided by what is essential rather than what is urgent. Simplicity also affects your surroundings. A simple environment, whether at home, work, or digitally, supports clarity of thought and focus. Organize your space, remove clutter, and keep only what adds value. A simple environment mirrors a simple mind, calm, focused, and intentional. The more you simplify your space, the more mental energy you reclaim for creativity, productivity, and peace. Another way to embrace simplicity is through your routines. Create daily habits that are consistent, intentional, and purposeful. This doesn't mean life becomes rigid. It means that important tasks happen automatically, reducing decision fatigue and stress. Simplicity and routine provides freedom because your energy is no longer spent on trivial choices. It is directed toward growth, relationships, and meaningful experiences. Shield simplicity also shapes your relationships. Focus on meaningful connections rather than trying to please everyone. Spend time with people who uplift you, inspire you, and share your values. Release toxic or draining relationships that consume energy and create chaos. Simple relationships allow for deeper connections, trust, and authentic communication. They reduce drama and increase happiness. Emotionally, simplicity teaches you to let go of unnecessary burdens, regrets, resentment, fears, and comparisons. By releasing what doesn't serve you, you create space for peace, joy, and clarity. Life becomes lighter, and you become more resilient in the face of challenges. When you simplify your emotional world, you experience life more fully without being weighed down by the past or anxious about the future. Simplicity also changes how you view success. Instead of chasing endless achievements or possessions, you measure success by peace, growth, relationships, and presence. This mindset shift removes pressure, fosters gratitude, and creates a sense of fulfillment that material success alone cannot provide. The simple life is a rich life because it focuses on the essence of living rather than the appearance of success. Finally, let simplicity guide your daily actions. Focus on one task at a time. Speak and act with intention, and invest energy in what truly matters. Celebrate small moments, live mindfully, and appreciate life's ordinary wonders. Over time, these small choices accumulate, transforming your life into a masterpiece of calm, clarity, and power. Permissible, simplicity is not about deprivation. It is about liberation. It frees your mind, heart, and soul from clutter, distraction, and unnecessary stress. When simplicity becomes your lifestyle, you gain the power to focus, create, connect, and thrive. You learn that life's true richness lies not in complexity or excess, but in clarity, intention, and the quiet joy of living fully. Simplicity is the ultimate power. It shapes your life, strengthens your mind, and enriches your spirit. By embracing it, you don't just live, you live with purpose, presence, and peace. Remember, simplicity is not just a choice, it's a way of life. By focusing on what truly matters, letting go of what doesn't, and living intentionally, you unlock a power that no amount of busyness, possessions, or noise can give. Every small step you take towards simplicity, whether it's decluttering your space, prioritizing your energy, slowing down, or cherishing ordinary moments, brings you closer to clarity, peace, and true strength. Life becomes lighter, your mind sharper, and your heart fuller. So start today. Make space for what matters, remove what weighs you down, and embrace the beauty of simple living. The power of simplicity is quiet, yet it transforms everything, from your thoughts and relationships to your success and happiness. Hey, loving listeners, if you want more life-changing insights and motivational tips, stay connected with Mind-Blowing Motive, where we explore ways to grow, inspire, and live your best life every single day.